Welcome to Lit Happens, Saskatchewan's showcase of the literary talent of the province. We're out on location today at the Saskatchewan Writers Guild office in Saskatoon at the Besborough Hotel. Feels really great to be here. I'd like to welcome my guest, Sally Meadows. Sally, welcome to Lit Happens.
Thanks for inviting me.
I am just so excited you're here. You and I have been wanting to make this happen for so long.
Yes,
So.
it's awesome.
Yeah, we're going to talk about the several different projects you're involved in at the moment. But first, I'd like to hear just a little bit about you and your career, because you weren't always a writer. You've done some other things too. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, I think I'd like to start with when I was really young. I think that desire to be a writer was always in me. And, it was a passion of mine, as was music when I was growing up. And when I was in high school, I decided that I wanted to become a science writer. So I had to make a choice. Did I go into journalism or did I go into sciences? And I chose to go into sciences. So I started my career actually after I graduated with a master's in geology as a scientific editor, although I did do some writing at that time as well. And so I've had a very diverse career, as I think you know. I've been a children's entertainer, an educator. I've also worked as a technical editor for an engineering firm. And in 2013, I decided to stop working in that corporate environment and spend full time on my writing and my music. So,
Nice.
And prior to that, I had done some freelance writing. So I started shortly after I graduated with my education degree in 2004. I started doing some freelance writing for various newspapers and newsletters and that kind of thing, specialty publications and that kind of thing. So it's not like I suddenly said, okay, today I'm waking up and I'm going to become a writer and musician. I have a long history of jobs that required me to write well, and I've been doing music for a very long time.
Yeah. That's probably a good segue into the different products of your creativity that we have here on the set with us. I think I'd like to discuss them all, but first I'd like to talk about this little baby right here, because I'm kind of excited about it. The Chicken Soup for the Soul is such a big phenomenon across the world, and now you're involved with it. Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, in 2011, I started to enter competitions and also to send stories out to publications such as Chicken Soup for the Soul.
Yeah.
So I wanted just to share that it's a bit of a story of perseverance to keep on going, because I submitted about 6 stories or so. 2 were shortlisted, and finally they picked up on my story Love Shania and The Whispered Wish. So I'm very, very excited to be part of that. And the really cool thing is it's a story about my journey as a musician.
Wow.
And I actually reference my, without giving the name, my Christmas CD, which you're holding right now, called Red and White.
Yeah.
And so it's kind of like that seed at the very beginning. I had been doing music since I was very young, but I was on my honeymoon when I looked over and I saw this beautiful young woman singing, and I said to my husband, which is my whispered wish, that's what I want to do one day. And so it's taken me this long to get to that journey of having that come to fruition. But
Awesome.
but it's still going. The dream's still going. So
Yeah. That's exciting. I'm just very excited. And now let's maybe touch on this little guy right here, because I have this CD. I was listening to it on the weekend. It's just terrific.
Thank you so much.
Just share with us a little bit of a backstory about this.
Well, I actually decided when I was recording my first CD, which is called Turn the Page, I decided the next project I'm going to do is a Christmas CD.
Yeah.
And so my first CD was released in 2012. This one was released last year, just before Christmas.
Yeah.
And it contains 4 original songs, as well as some my takes on classic Christmas carols, some of people's favorites, I hope.
Yeah. Yeah, it's terrific. I was listening to it and I just thought that such a great weave of both traditional and more contemporary independent stuff. I just thought it was very clever.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
That's kind of me.
Yeah, yeah.
Kind of classical, but kind of contemporary.
Yeah,
so.
great vibe. Now, last but not least, let's talk about this. This is hot off the press.
It is. I just got them last week.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, so
This is a very exciting project for me to be involved in. They're a series of real-life stories of people who use their stumbling blocks as stepping stones. So you have a wide range of stories. I'm the only Canadian, by the way.
Wow.
It's produced out of a group in North Carolina, and It's the stories are really quite phenomenal. They're people who've battled poverty, had serious car accidents. One man had his leg amputated as a result of a car accident. Serious illnesses, abuse, you name it. And so, but there's stories of hope, and there's stories of victory, and there's stories of success. And it includes a New York Times best-selling author who actually had $1 million business, and then she lost everything in 911, and she recouped, and she was able to go on and make another $1 million business. I just feel really blessed to be involved with the people. Some of these people have become my friends since then. And it's just a very, I hope it inspires hope. I hope that's what it's all about for anybody who's had stumbling blocks in their life.
Wow, very exciting. You're kind of riding a wave right now.
I am.
Yeah. What's next for you? I sense you've got some other irons in the fire.
Yes. I worked with youth and children for many, many years.
Yeah.
So my focus is going to be switching in 2015 to children's stories. I've got 4 different projects on the go. The one that's furthest along is a book called The Two Trees, and it's about a family and the struggles they have with dealing with with a son that is differently abled. Yeah. And I think I'll just stop there, but I've got 4 in the works, and just really loving that process of working with the illustrators. So it's been really fun for me to do that.
That's a great teaser. Very well done. Now we're running out of time, but you brought a scribbler there, and you were going to share something from that.
I forgot all about that. Okay. Well, it was just my mom had kept a lot of things that I wrote when I was young, and I came across this about 6 months ago, and I thought it was quite prophetic for my life. So I'm only going to read the first sentence here.
Okay.
When I grow up, I will be a traveler, writing and illustrating things I see. And so I've had a lot of adventures in my life. I've had a lot of different careers. Here I am writing, and I don't illustrate, but I do take a lot of photographs, and I love photography, and those photographs tell stories in themselves. So, so I felt that was very prophetic. So
that's fabulous. It's good to know you're living your dream too. So.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. Oh, you're welcome. Do you have a website?
SallyMeadows.com. Yeah. And on that, you can get any of these books and CDs on that website. Okay. But of course, they're all available at iTunes for my music, Amazon.com, Amazon.ca, a lot of digital service providers. There's a lot of places, and at McNally Robinson.
Oh, Saskatoon's McNally is always a great resource.
Yeah. Yes. And of course, this one will be available at all major bookstores across Canada.
Nice. And I know that you're active on social media too. So.
I am.
Yeah, so that's always a good.
Yeah, and that's Sally Meadows Music.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, I just want to thank you for coming up here today. It was a real treat to interview you after all this time. So
I know. Thank you so much, Wes.
You're welcome. We'll do it again.
Yes, thanks so much.
You bet. That's all the time we have today for Lit Happens. If you enjoyed today's episode, you can see previous segments on the Shaw TV website or on my website, westpunk.ca. And you can connect with us online on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. So I'll see you next time on Lit Happens.